Before we get started, guys, just wanted to let you know I'm currently running a drawing for a brand new Xbox One Elite controller February 26th through March 20th, 2016. Follow the link in the description to the video on how to enter. What is going on, guys? Legit here, back again with some more World of Tanks on console, and today this is going to be the first video of the brand new how-to series, and we are starting today with the beautiful tier 6 Soviet medium tank, the T-34-85. Now the whole point of these series is not so much of a tank review, but it's going to be hopefully a quick video on just some things to keep in mind while you're playing the tank. Hopefully going to show you some footage of certain situations you can put the tank in, and also, like I said, some things to keep in mind about its playstyle and how you can win battles effectively in it. Now, I find the T-34-85 to be a true medium. Doesn't excel in any one category, but does very well in many. So with that in mind, a lot of stuff I'm going to be talking about is not just for this specific vehicle, but can be used in other mediums across the board. So with that, let's get started with the first clip. Alrighty, guys, for this first clip we are here on Himmelsdorf. Match is going rather evenly at the moment, but we have this Comet on our side. It's in some trouble. He's got a Churchill over here that's shooting at him, and there's, I honestly don't know why he just leaves, but he didn't, so we're gonna go over here and try to help him. Got a Churchill one, and I want to say a T1 heavy that's also on the Churchill's left that we're having to deal with. About to get the kill shot on the Churchill. There we go, take him out. But now we have the T1 and the Panzer IV to deal with. Now in these 1 versus 2 situations, in this tank it is vital that you use cover. This thing lives and dies on having cover when it's fighting. This thing, at most, on the front of the hull, this thing is only 45 millimeters, and it doesn't have the best slope. So using cover is what's going to keep you alive in this thing. Also, using cover means that you're dictating the pace of the battle, only poking out when you have a shot ready, meaning that if they hit you, you're most likely going to hit them back as well. It's kind of like being an opportunist. When you see that you're reloaded, poke out, try to bait the enemy into a shot. If they miss, then you poke out, aim your shot up, and hit them, doing damage to them, and you should be able to win that battle. Alright, second clip, we are here on Sacred Valley up at the top of the hill on the left side, and we have got ourselves 3 tanks here that are starting to charge us. Managed to pop out, get a shot on the VK, but we have a Hellcat and an Achilles that are coming up to this hill to deal with us. So in these, like in the last clip, in these certain situations you have to use cover. That is absolutely vital. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a dead tank, a rock, a house, hopefully one that's not destructible. Anything that'll stop a shell from hitting your tank is what you need to use when fighting more than one tank. So we're going to use this dead tank here to, again, dictate the pace of the battle. Doing this, we are only fighting one tank at a time. And another thing is, I find people tend to underestimate the alpha damage of this gun. It is 180, meaning that 8 out of 10 times I find that you roll around 200. So we see that we dealt with the Achilles using the dead tank, and now we are able to take out the Hellcat. 2 tanks that basically charges at the same time. Using cover, we managed to take them out. But unfortunately, one thing that you do have to look out for that usually doesn't happen too often, but this is a case as you're seeing, is the cupola on the top of this tank is quite large, so it is something to keep in mind. Now this thing's armor is not the greatest, so don't go looking to be like a heavy tank, because it's not really going to work for you. But one thing that I do find that you do have in your arsenal is going hold down, because this thing's turret is actually quite strong for tier 6. The front of it is only 90 millimeters, so hitting it flush in the front, you're most likely going to be penetrated. But if you do get shot in the cheeks, the side of the turret is only 75 millimeters, but the angle that they're at, and I'll put some pictures up so you can see, but the angle they're at from the front makes it somewhere around 250 millimeters, which at tier 6 and possibly tier 7 is basically just an auto ricochet zone. But you have to make sure that you keep the tank moving to throw off the enemy's aim so they'll hit those cheeks. Otherwise, if they hit you in the front of the turret, like I said, it's most likely going to go through. So one other thing I found interesting about this tank is that its side armor is only 45 degrees, but it's such an angle that it's basically an auto ricochet for just about anything, because it's over 80 degrees if you angle the armor just a little bit. I think you'll see it in the video here. The angle I'm at is just enough that if they shoot at the side, it's just gonna bounce off. Now, this is no IS-4, so don't be trying to side skip around corners, because that's definitely not going to work. But just keep in mind it's something that you could try and use to your advantage. Okay, so the last point I wanted to bring out was the thing's mobility. Now, this could be due to the terrain on Kamaran, but this thing doesn't circle too well. As you see in here, I'm able to get around them, but in the long run, if my platoon mate hadn't been here for him to switch his fire, his turret would have eventually have gotten around to shoot at me. So not the best tank to be trying to circle something in, but if you only have to shoot them 1 or 2 times, then I suppose it could work out for you. Okay, so just to recap, when using this thing, when fighting close quarter, find cover. That is vital. This thing only has 45 millimeters of hull armor. It does not have the armor to brawl, so finding cover is what is going to keep you alive in this thing. Alright, next. This is a second line tank. It should be nowhere near the front lines. Now, it can if you have to, but I'd highly recommend from staying at the front fighting it out with the heavies. This tank is an opportunist, meaning that when you are seeing the enemy team fighting one of your allies, that is when you poke around and shoot at them. Pretty basic. You want to do that in all your mediums, but this thing is very good at it and is one of the best strategies I find to use this thing. So that's going to wrap this video up, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like and also commenting on the video. Love to hear from you guys. Also, let me know what you think of the T-34-85 if you do own it. Don't forget to follow me on social media. All of that is in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.